Just to follow up on that, this is an audience listening who is like-minded and kind of thinks that, generally agrees with you. But for a lot of people who are at home and reading mainstream newspapers, a lot of them believe that, that the CDC, the FDA, the Environmental Protection Agency are good, hardworking, honest people that are protecting us. And so the question is it really necessary for us to put this much time and effort looking at every product and noticing everything, or can we assume that they're doing a pretty good job of making sure that these things are safe for us?
No, you can't be assured of that. You can be assured that in all these agencies, there are honest people who are determined to do a good job. They are usually the ones who get fired. They're the ones who don't make it up the bureaucratic chain. They realize you make waves, you don't advance. And this is the sad, sad thing. And the reason is that inside all these agencies, there are people that are doing the behest in the EPA pesticide. The pesticide lobby is running the EPA pesticide division. In the water division, it's the dental lobby. And I'm sure other people can add. In the FDA, again, the ADA. The ADA, the American Dental Association, and the FDA are like this on mercury amalgams. Like this. The CDC is an adjunct of the ADA on mercury amalgams. The FDA is an adjunct of the ADA, American Dental Association. American Dental Association, I think, last year spent $10 million on lobbying. And on fluoride, the ADA is an adjunct of the CDC. The Oral Health Division and the American Dental Association are like Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Whatever the ADA says today, the CDC will say a few days later.
See, but with all of these things, maybe I'm changing this a little bit too much from your quick questions, FDA, ADA, whatever it is, they use 6th grade science, which is okay. For most people, they're 6th graders. They never got beyond 6th grade. The science makes sense. Study something for 90 days and take a look at the external factors and cut something open, see if things are swollen. That's 6th grade science, and that's what they all use. Instead of using, let's say, 12th grade science or college science or graduate school science, where you take a look at the cellular biology, where you take a look at the subcellular biology, which we can now do in a nanosecond with electron microscopes. We can take a look at a cell and tell you instantly whether there's something wrong with a chromosome caused by something that was put into the environment. And these people are all in charge, and they're all supposed to be using that kind of science, we think, but they're not. They're using 6th grade science. They're waiting for the pig to get 90 days old. They're cutting it open and seeing if the liver is swollen. But they never cut the liver open to take a look at the cell to see whether the DNA in that cell has been impacted. And we let them do it because we're stupid. We're not scientists. We go on Facebook and but we don't study science. And so from my perspective, the answer to a lot of this stuff is we got to push the science a lot harder. We got to let the scientists be scientists and not be, the minions of government, which is what they are.
But I think that it's true that there are scientists in the government who are trying to do a good job, but there are political appointees above them who decide what studies are done, what studies are silenced. There's even been lawsuits where just a recent lawsuit where the government scientists said they were afraid to speak out, and it was thrown out. It was thrown out because, you got the job, and they have power over you, so you can't complain. So the scientists, I know scientists that have left that kind of work because they felt like they weren't being listened to, and then they were part of some kind of fraud, saying something's fine when it isn't. It's totally run by corporations, every aspect of our government. They've taken it over because for years they cared more than we cared. But now we have to care more than they care and take that back because it's our government. It's not their government.
I think there's a common sentiment about these regulatory agencies, and one way is to fight them, and another way is to go around And I wonder if my colleagues here are knowledgeable in this area. Has anybody tried to set up a parallel organization that's something like the FDA, but an organization of the people?
Well, there is actually some very interesting information today, which I think is what you're saying. I think it is. I got an email from Ronnie Cummins. He's the head of Organic Consumers Association. And apparently there's an effort, I'm sure you know more about this than I do, there is an effort to bring Monsanto to court in The Hague. It's being organized by citizens groups to bring, if you go to the internet, you'll find it, Organic Consumers Association. There's a whole list of charges, like 300,000 farmers in India have committed suicide. There's a whole litany of horrible. I think Monsanto is the most evil corporation on this planet. And I think this might be a way to do it. The government's not doing its job, citizens have to organize and do it for them.
We need at this point a revolution of the soul, a revolution of consciousness at this point. Unlike in the past where it took blood to make changes, now it's going to take love to make changes.
Yes, that's a good way. I like it.